This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
Climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world.
We're significantly drier than normal, 75% below precipitation rate.
The officers who took responsibility for their actions, and that's being a man. You did your crime and now you're about to do your time.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. Drama in the courtroom today in Florida after the man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump last year on a Florida golf course, Ryan Ruth, is found guilty on 5 counts.
What he did is no joke. While he himself behaved somewhat clownishly, these charges were not clownish, and what he tried to do was deadly serious.
After that verdict was read, though, Ruth took a pen and tried to take his own life in front of the jury, but was wrestled out of the courtroom by officers. Criminal defense attorney Donna Rotuno.
Well, I think what we're seeing is victimhood playing out in live form. The court gave him every opportunity to have counsel, but to throw the entire system under the bus and act as if he was the victim really is quite ironic in a circumstance like this.
Ruth says he was only guilty of, quote, caring deeply for his country. He was spotted in bushes near the Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida last year with a rifle. President Trump ruffled a few feathers in front of the United Nations General Assembly today in New York City. He kicked it off by saying climate change isn't real.
It's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion.
He also said Christian persecution is at a fever pitch.
Let us defend free speech and free expression. Let us protect religious liberty, including for the most persecuted religion on the planet today. It's called Christianity.
You could have heard a pin drop in that room, which was packed wall to wall. Not a person moved for more than an hour. Steve Yates is former deputy national security advisor. He says the president spoke without a teleprompter.
There was apparently a teleprompter malfunction, and if there ever was a world leader that's not going to be dissuaded by a teleprompter malfunction, it's President Trump. He knows very much what he wants to say, and he's able to, on the fly, continue with his messaging, and he was characteristically very direct, as the most comfortable leader ever in uncomfortable situations. So he would speak blunt truth, but with power.
Many of the nations there held wildly different views than Donald Trump, especially when it comes to a Palestinian state and a new world order with no nation above other nations. Trump said that's hogwash. The world needs the United States.
They can only do well when they're working with us. Without us, they will fail, just as others have failed. It's true. Next year, the United States will celebrate the 250th anniversary of our glorious independence, a testament to enduring power and American freedom and spirit.
Yates says Trump has no problem speaking truth on a global stage.
What a difference 8 years makes from when he entered the world scene and kind of ushered in the end of globalism, and people laughed at him. Now the World Trade Organization has failed world trade. The World Health Organization has failed world health. The UN Security Council has failed to preserve peace and promote prosperity. And he's presenting now with experience, the most active 7 months ever in a presidency on foreign affairs, an alternative to the globalist view.
Globalism prioritizes the interests of the entire world over individual nations. Outside that broken teleprompter, there was another issue at the United Nations meeting. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, couldn't get to the French embassy last night after he came upon a street blocked off for President Trump's motorcade. An NYPD officer gave him the bad news.
I'm sorry, President. I'm really sorry. It's just that everything's in closing right now.
Macron called Donald Trump for help, but to no avail.
Guess what? I'm waiting the street because everything is frozen for you.
He was eventually allowed to cross, but had to walk for 30 minutes. Along the way, he took selfies with tourists. Also in New York City, the Secret Service broke up a telecommunications plot that could have crippled cell towers during the United Nations General Assembly. CBS reporter Nicole Skenga.
The investigation began earlier this year when a number of unidentified White House officials, including some protected by the Secret Service, started receiving anonymous threats over the phone. That led the Secret Service to discovering and dismantling a sprawling network of servers, including more than 100,000 SIM cards at abandoned apartment buildings across the New York City area.
And for the first time since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA held an on-campus rally last night. More than 2,000 turned out at the University of Minnesota for a stop on a tour of U.S. campuses that's been renamed This Is the Turning Point.
The assassin, as well as the people who excused and cheered him on, thought that they could stop Charlie Kirk's movement. In reality, they have not even stopped his lecture tour.
Author and commenter Michael Knowles was the keynote speaker.
His most public accomplishments were political. His most important were religious. He wanted to be remembered for his faith. He wanted to help as many souls to heaven as he could. If you want to honor Charlie, go to church, read the Bible, pray.
The American Comeback Tour began on Kirk's assassination date, but it continues without him. Still to come on the 5 o'clock report, bail reform, yay or nay in the Empire State. We do a deep dive. Stacey Garrity is officially in campaign mode in Pennsylvania and watching the weather. Kevin has an update on some much-needed rain now.
Hi, I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast for tonight. We shower here and there, otherwise clouds, breaks of starlight, and some areas of locally dense fog forming. Low temperatures mid-50s to near 60. Tomorrow, clouds and fog break for a little bit of sun. There could be a shower in the 70s. Showers become more numerous, though, in the afternoon near Lake Erie and expand across the region tomorrow night into Thursday. Thursday, high temperatures in the lower 70s.
Thank you, Kevin. Checking the stories making news where you live across New York and Pennsylvania. It is the rain topping our news. The Family Life News team monitoring a few strong storm cells, the largest from Elmira to Clarion, Pennsylvania at this hour, and a second from State College to Towanda. There's a rain threat for the next 72 hours. Pennsylvania Department of Conservation Fire Warden Bill Deaton tells WNEP, bring it on. With the western half of both states under a moderate drought, the risk for wildfires is significant.
We're significantly drier than normal, 75% below precipitation rate for what would be like the valley areas like Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and 50 to 75 for the areas surrounding that northern tier, Schuylkill, Poconos.
Some communities around Pennsylvania have implemented burn bans due to the elevated fire risk. Deaton says he expects that risk to persist well into November. Pennsylvania Republican gubernatorial candidate Stacey Garrity kicked off her 2026 campaign with a political pep rally in Erie last night. The 61-year-old state treasurer accuses Governor Shapiro of using the governor's office as a stepping stone to the White House.
The slogan is "Help is on the way." I want this office because I want to serve all Pennsylvanians. And every day that I get to serve Pennsylvanians right now is truly a blessing. And I'm not using this office as a stepping stone for another office.
Garrity says Erie is key to who wins the Keystone State in 2026, and that's why she chose it as her first campaign stop. Pennsylvania has never had a female governor before. New York Governor Kathy Hochul remains non-committal on additional changes to the state's controversial bail reform laws.
I'm always willing to look at laws. I'm the governor who've had to go in and undo a lot of things that were good intended, but did not foresee down the road the implications and the collateral damage to communities.
Hochul suggested a wait-and-see approach to reforming the reforms while touring the town of Tonawanda Police Headquarters yesterday. Niagara County Sheriff Michael Filicetti says bail reform has made our streets unsafe.
They're out victimizing the public over and over again, and we're seeing dangerous criminals out to again victimize.
Hochul wants judges to have more discretion when it comes to setting bail. State Senator George Borrello.
There is no judge's discretion. This is just another smoke and mirrors game by the other side of the aisle to pretend that they've done something to change this horrible, damaging law.
4 more former corrections officers in central New York have pled guilty to manslaughter for their roles in the beating death of inmate Robert Brooks last December. The victim's son says he's grateful for the accountability.
We all are human beings, so we make mistakes. The biggest part is what you do after the mistake. So the officers who took responsibility for their actions and pled guilty, that's being a man. You did something wrong, you stepped up, You did your crime, and now you're about to do your time.
The crime was captured on tape at the Marcy Correctional Facility near Utica. All 4 who pled guilty will be sentenced in November. 4 other ex-prison guards have rejected plea deals and will go to trial. And New York wants children to swap scrolling for strolling. The Get Offline, Get Outside challenge encourages kids 12 to 18 to complete 50 outdoor activities before they turn 19 years old. They include things like roasting marshmallows over a fire, hiking a trail, visiting a pond, or learning to cast a fishing rod. The state DEC says the challenge is to inspire families to disconnect from technology and discover the great outdoors. A new study from the UK today finds teenage boys are spending more time gaming online than they do learning in school. Next at 5, hometown heroes with our own Mark Webster and guest Angelique Clark, founder of Life Dress, promoting the pro-life cause with clothing art. Let's listen in.
Life Dress began when I was in college, and I started the organization out of a love for the preborn and for creating artwork. So I had been an activist since I was in high school. I started a pro-life club at my high school in Las Vegas, and I had to sue my school to get it started. So ever since then, I just had this passion for the pro-life mission and for the preborn and their mothers. And Life Dress started out of the necessity for spreading the message, and I wanted to use art and what we wear every day to start those important conversations.
What are some of the messages that you have for people to display to show folks how they feel?
I do a wide variety of different types of designs. Some designs are bold, just protect preborn people. I have a whole line called Protect Preborn People. And I also do things like Love Life. At one point, when the abortion pill started becoming extremely available across the world, I created a dress that said, abortion pills kill. And so the messages are really vary in who they're trying to reach. So whether it's a mother who is facing an unplanned pregnancy or someone who just wants to have a conversation about the ethics of abortion. So it really reaches all the different audiences.
Mm-hmm. And you do have a nationwide audience, but based in Sin City, Las Vegas, how was your message received on the home front?
You know, I've had some great conversations here in Las Vegas, actually. I do man on the street videos on the Las Vegas Boulevard with showgirls walking by and everything. And I've had some great conversations with people when I've asked them, do you want to protect the most vulnerable human life?
You can subscribe, listen to, and share Hometown Heroes and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
Is wealth about having lots of money or about something else? Hi, I'm Rob West with today's Faith and Finance Minute. A recent Charles Schwab survey asked Americans ages 21 to 75 what wealth really means. The results were eye-opening. Nearly 2/3 said wealth is better defined by enjoying healthy relationships than simply having a lot of money. And 70% said true wealth is not having to stress over money, rather than always chasing more of it. Well, that aligns with Proverbs 10:22. The blessing of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Real wealth isn't found in chasing more. It's found in contentment, gratitude, and trusting God to provide what we truly need. Get biblical answers to your financial questions in the Faith Fi community. Download Faith Fi, Faith and Finance in your app store or visit faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, what can 2 emergency room nurses do in an emergency that happens outside a hospital? The power of nurses next after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Well, it's autumn, and an unsettled pattern is going to be the result of a new weather regime that'll generate showers over the next few days. Hit and miss. There'll be frequent rain-free periods, but some beneficial moisture is ahead as we progress through the next couple of days and nights. Our call for tonight and for tomorrow, mostly cloudy. From time to time, it'll shower, and there could be a thunderstorm. There have been already a couple in parts of the area. Low temps tonight around 60, kind of humid. High temps tomorrow, 70s. On Wednesday, clouds break for a little sun, a couple of more showers around with high temperatures in the 70s, and showers are expected with rumbles of thunder on Thursday.
A couple good patches of rain on the roads. Be careful tonight as you're driving home. Finally, at 5, we talk about the story of the Good Samaritan. In this instance, it was an entire room of Good Samaritans. A stand-up comedian in Washington State was in the middle of his show when an 83-year-old man in the audience went into cardiac arrest. His heart completely stopped.
Oh, hey, everything okay? Oh, no.
That's when the entire club went into action, including 2 ER nurses who performed CPR for 5 minutes.
Hey, guys, can we give some space to the people who aren't performing the CPR, please?
Then paramedics arrived and whisked him away as people opened doors and aided them.
You guys all really just came together in a really cool way, dude. You saved that guy's life, man.
Everyone in that room really did seem like they were connected.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It just reminded me maybe of a time like a long, long time ago where it was like you helped out a neighbor.
The very next day, the comedian visited the man to finish his show by his hospital bed.
Have you made a lifelong friend?
I have. The rest of my life, I'm an old guy, but the rest of my life, he will be a friend of mine.
The man that lived because of 2 nurses, a comedian, and a room full of people that got him to safety. And that's the world that we live in for Tuesday, the 23rd of September. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.